It's early morning, I'm sat out in the garden. What a lovely morning it is. Yes, there are autumn, April showers even around us. But as I sit here and contemplate and think about how things have developed in the garden over the past few weeks, and I sip on a beverage, and it's time to think and be thankful of where we are and what we can do in the garden at this very, very difficult time. It's time now, folks, to sit back and relax and enjoy. Yeah, Steve Dog's back. This is Gardener's World. So what have we got in store on today's show then? That's the question that everyone wants to ask the answer to. Right, well, first of all, Monty Dog is going to be over by the pond, and this week not only is he going to be looking at the way the pond is managed, the plant life in the pond, he's also going to look at some of the little creatures that live within that little environment that we created in the garden. Secondly, we're going to have some words of wisdom from Dave the Shrub. Dave's got some very interesting things to say this week, and our old pal Titch Marshmallow is back again. He's going to be planting up too much beverage. He's going to be planting up some colours for the new season. Going to bring a little bit of sparkle into the garden, and then, of course, I think it's a great opportunity to go and have a look around the garden and just see how the things that we've done have been getting on. So don't go anywhere, folks. Let's get right into it, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. Let's get right over to Monty Dog over by the pond. Monty. Thanks for that, Steve Dog. Welcome to the pond. And I think you'll all agree that other than some vivacious duckweed, the pond is now starting to settle down into the springtime. Warmth is coming back into the water temperatures, and that's encouraging a whole load of life to start kicking off as we move into the spring period. So, what did I want to show you today? Well, I think it's time that we went sub-aqua. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to go into the fish pond, but our little friend the camera is. And this will give us an opportunity to see what is inside that fish pond. Today, I'll let you into a secret. We're looking for amphibians. That's right, this is the first, other than last week we had a frog, amphibians feature of Gardener's World. Amphibians feature of Gardener's World. Okay, so thanks for coming back. This is what we've got today. We've got a camera, and what I need to do, first of all, switch on that camera. That's one thing, little tip there, little Monty Dog tip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to submerge this camera under the water and see if I can show you guys the Palmate Newt. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little configuration initialization. Say that if you can. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to press record, and I'm going to wiggle my finger in front of the camera. Then I can align precise footage from the camera later so that you can see an exact synergy, yeah, in footage. So here we go. I'm going to hit the record button, which I think is I think it's just a side button. Nope, it's not the side button. It's just the top button. We're recording. I now wiggle my finger. 1, 2, 3. That will allow me to align. And now we're going to go underwater and see what we can see. So the water is a little tiny bit murky, I will admit. But if we go down under here, I do know that there's a Palmate Newt down here, and it is the male variety. The male variety of the Palmate Newt does in fact have big webbed feet and a spotty tail. Hopefully from the footage that I'm now getting under the water, you can see a Palmate Newt in action. What they do in action, I don't know, and nor do you, but we can see on the across the way there, you'll be able to see this footage now and how remarkable it is. We're now going to take the camera out. Hi, that's me. And now we're going to put it into another filming location, okay? And I can see some fish down there. These are pond fish. I can see pond fish, but we're not too worried about pond fish. Just have a look under a lily pad. Are there any newts of the Palmate variety there? No. Are there any newts of the Palmate variety there? No. Is it raining? Yes. Right. Okay. We're going to go from one last delve and see what we can see. I'll tell you what, let's get the camera back in the water again. It's always a benefit to get the camera in the water when trying to go underwater to see things. I'm closing up the clasp mechanism on the base of the camera, submerging the camera now. And now we're going to trawl through the water and see what we can see in this sub-aquatic environment that is much more than just a pond. Yeah, it's an environment, an ecosystem in the garden. And these newts and frogs and toads that spend some of their time in the pond will go out and they will be your friends, like they're my friends. They can be predators to the enemies we have in the garden, such as slugs and snails, other little thingies. And they will feed on those, which means we do not need to use insecticides in the garden. And it's all thanks to these newts that we are getting amazing footage of probably right now. Okay, so one last second. I'm going to have one last look, folks, you know. I know they are here to be filmed. I just know it. There are a few finer things in life than leaning over a fish pond, folks. One of them being sat in your armchair at home watching someone leaning over a fish pond. Where are you, oh newts of the Palmate variety? Right, I've got a waterproof watch on. We're just going to go deep into the water. There are some very small tadpoles in here. Let's show you a tadpole. This tadpole is, if you can see that tadpole is a toad tadpole. I thought I'd clarify that. I know a lot of you are concerned whether or not the variety of tadpole identified was accurate. And that's one thing you need to do when identifying tadpoles, is identify them in an accurate way. But there you go, folks. There is the footage of the Palmate Newt in all of its glory, in a natural world in the garden. So I think we should go back now to Dave the Shrub for a few kind words. See you in a moment. Dave.
That was amazing, Monty. Now over to Titch.
Thanks for those words there, Dave. And thank you, Steve Dog, earlier for those kind words. Right, it was only a little while ago when we were out in the garden and we weren't really sure on what to plant because we had run out of plants. Well, fortunately, I managed to source a few plants in a very appropriate and responsible manner. And today we're going to pot one of those plants up. We're going to pot up what we call pinks. Simple as that, pinks. Let's have a look and see exactly what we need to do today. So here we are, and as we can see, we've got a couple of these pots here which are very good at adding verticality into your garden, and I think at home you need to think about that more. The structure, the formalised structure of these pots can contrast against nature's own plants. That's right. But of course, when you're using these pots, you've got to be a bit mindful that there's a volume of content beneath the plant, and moisture might just end up running right to the bottom. So what we've done is we've put in a nominal amount of mid-range drainage retention material, i.e. a plastic bag, punched a few holes in it, and that should help retain a little bit of moisture at the top of the planted area, otherwise called container.
What are we going to plant today? Well, here then, let's have a look. The plant we're going to plant. And I think you'll agree this is quite beautiful. This is called, informally referred to as pinks, formally referred to as Pincus pinceus, and this is the morning sun version, okay? So what we're going to do first of all is take this out of this pot
and put it into that big one that I just explained to you a minute ago. So let's have a look. Let's turn it out and see what's inside the pot. And you can turn these outside, they come out very easily, these pot plants. And you can just give them a little nudge and they'll come out as easy as you like. You see what happened there? What are we being hindered by? Our old pal, well not pal, root binding. What we need to do is these plants will flower, just so that you know, in early to midsummer, and you can, if these plants do grow too vivaciously and high, you can use stakes and little twigs or thin canes to support the structure. And what I'm trying to do now is to plant this in a moist yet well-drained soil with added well-drained compost or manure, and you can plant these in mixed borders, or as I'm preferring to, in a very vertically orientated container. So I'll just loosen those off a little bit. And now, in the container, we've got a mix of compost, bedding, multi-purpose material. Just fill that up a little bit around the edge so you can see it's staying there quite nicely. I'll go and get some of the other stuff so you don't have to go anywhere.
come back. Thanks to the April showers we've been experiencing, I don't really need to water this in too much. What I'm going to do is add this material in and around our plant now to create a really nice home for the plant.
That's what we're doing then, folks. We're creating something for people to live. So, just get this stuff in there. You can use John in his number 2 if you like. We've talked about that before. I'm personally not a fan of John in his number 2 if used excessively. I think used in an appropriate manner is probably the best way. We need to be cognizant of where we've received our potting material from, and make sure you get it from an environmentally sustainable source. Don't just remember that. So we're going to just quickly chuck this stuff in here, as they say. Right, I will water that in at the end just to make sure that the compost I put in around the plant is moist enough. The plant itself has had a good drenching in the night because it's raining a lot. And that there now, what you need to do is give that a good water in. You can, if you want, give it a bone feed if you like. Not sure what that is, but you can if you want. And then that'll be all set for the spring season, and it will flower through the summer months. So there you go, folks, that's how we plant a pink, as we like to call them. I think now is a good time to go and have a look. Let's let's go and have a look around the garden. Let's just see what's happening today in the garden. So here are the beautiful blue plants, which I refer to as forget-me-nots. I almost forgot. Forget-me-not then. What we've got here is the beautiful blue flowers are just starting to come through, punctuating the green of the foliage. And then what I've added since you've been away is some mini violas to add contrast to that pot and structure. Here, as we move around, you'll see this is our fuchsia. This fuchsia we potted up the other day, and I just think you'll agree that the flowers are now starting to come through. We pruned it up beautifully, and I think now you'll agree it is looking quite remarkable. It almost looks like a new plant. Next up, as we scroll around here, now some of you will remember we planted our campion or champion seeds, and I think you'll agree that they're now starting to come through. The foliage is going to be first and the flowers are going to be second. So just remember that, folks. Foliage first, flowers second. Got it? I think I have. I hope that's been a very informative show for you. Let's just quickly say thanks to Dave the Shrub. So let's go over and just see what Dave the Shrub does have to say today. So over to you, Dave.
Thanks, Steve Dog. Back to you, Steve Dog.
Well said, Dave. Right, next week we're going to be doing things in the garden. We're going to be thinking about the structure in the way that we structure our garden. Too many times in life we don't take a moment to think. We don't take a moment to consider the ramifications of our actions. It's something we all need to do more in the garden, folks. It really is. And together, when we harness the powers of nature, be it in a plant pot, be it in a window ledge, perhaps it might be a hanging basket or a nice garden. It doesn't matter. What we've just got to make sure is that each week we nurture the things that we put into the ground. We feed plants that we grow, and those plants then in turn feed us, both from a nutrients point of view, but also in here and in here. That's right. Tune in next week when we'll be doing more things on next week's Gardener's World.